Is the silver up? I can't find it. Caribbean. Password as well. I remember.
Alright, good evening folks, and welcome out to our fourth round of the Caribbean GT3 Championship. Qualifying is live. 1 minute has already surpassed here, and we've got the guys get out of pit lane right now. I just want you guys to assist me and let me know how well you can hear me out here. I might be a little bit too loud, so I'm trying to adjust the volume here now on the mic. And also let me know if you can hear me over the cars as well. Gonna pick up here with a few guys in a moment's time. Of course, the times that they will be producing. Okay, I think this is the first guy out of the pits. No, we've got someone ahead of him. Let's see if we can find that person. I think it's going to be alright, here we go then. I think it's Oswin Wilson, and he's got about 2 persons ahead of him. Let's see if it's yes, one of them is Kylami, and although one we're going to try and get in shot in a moment here. Kylami Eastman now starting a fast lap, but remember, these cars are laden with a lot of fuel at this point in time. Doesn't seem as though I can get eyes on who is on a lap here. Actually, I think it's Parry. Yes, it is Parry on the first of the fast laps here. And we are at Kylami, ladies and gentlemen. If you aren't aware of where that is, it's located in South Africa. And Kylami is a Zulu word, which means my home. So we're here at the sorry, but I just got a bit distracted there. I think Parry has already went off there. That's what happened. And we've got Daniel Williams here ahead on a lap, on a time lap that is, running in the Ford Mustang GT3 car. Latest addition to the GT3 category with this one here from Ford. That car is hugging, man. Okay, we do have a time on the board now. It's 1:44.412 there from Kylami Eastman. That's going to be a benchmark here now. We've got yellow flags around this area to test Javon Parry there on the side of the track. He's not in the way of anyone, but you are going to see those yellow flags and take precaution. So let me know there how well you're receiving me. And we can see there. That was Oswin Wilson, who's already gone to the top of the charts for the 142.830. He's currently improving here as well, Oswin Wilson. And he's currently sat in a Porsche 992 GT3 car. We're under 10 minutes now. We've only got 3 reference times on the board, but it's Oswin Wilson who's improving enormously on this lap, almost by 7/10 or so. So he should go down into the 141s there, as long as this is a valid lap. Yes, it is. Oh, it's a 142.202 actually. So he did lose a little bit of time there on the exit of that turn, if I'm not mistaken. Kylami Eastman is the next one to be improving here on a flying lap. He's currently sat in 3rd position with 144.042. Kylami Eastman. Ooh, it's Daniel Williams now with that Mustang that went second fastest. 142.860 there from the Guyanese. But Jaden Harrison now responds with a 142.827 there, the Jamaican, in the Mercedes AMG GT3 car. Not improving that much here. Jaden Harrison's up now by a 10th and a half. He needs 6/10, 6¼ of a tenth, 6¼ of a tenth there to get into pole position. Oswin Wilson takes that car back into pit lane. Ricardo Swaby is improving his time by about a second or so, and he's down by 2.4 seconds there to the leader of this qualifying currently. Brandon Harrison now's got one more corner to go here. And more than he's seeing himself pole position as he exits here. Can he hold on to it? Yes, he will. And now he goes up into that top spot. Oswin Wilson will have to respond. He's currently sat almost at a 10.5 there, Oswin Wilson. He's currently in pit lane. Here he is. Who else is improving on a lap here? It's Nick Stapleton, the St. Kitts and Nevis man here, currently sat in 8th position. Oh, he did improve there on that one, but it didn't send him up the ladder just yet. Can Oswin Wilson respond? He's only got one sector to better here. Sorry, 2 sectors to better here. He's bested one with 31.260 in sector 1. It's 40.320 in sector 2 for Jaden Harrison, while Oswin Wilson is 40.622. And then we've got Oswin Wilson with 30.320 in sectors 3, and Jaden Harrison with 30.292. Quite a lot there, but yet still so close for Oswin Wilson. Looking at Adonik here, cannot improve on his previous fast time so far. Who is improving at the moment is Javon Parry. Back under racing conditions here for the Jamaican, and we are in crunch time. Less than 5 minutes to go here in qualifying. That Porsche is singing and it goes off track, but it's still about a lap at this point in time, and he's off by half a second now. He's lost that for sure. Here he comes, Javon Parry into the penultimate turn. Gets back on the power quite nicely. He's lost that 3/10 or so, so he's seen about 2/10 here over his previous fastest time, but it's not going to get him out of 7th position. Eastman now is improving in the McLaren. Currently sat in 5th position here, Kimani Eastman. The Jamaican already up by 4/10. Got a Trinidadian joining us here, Michael Charles. He's also in the Mustang. Eastman has lost some time now on this lap. Doesn't seem as though he's going to improve here now. Oswin Wilson is back out of pit lane. He's going to switch over to Oswin now. Not improving on this lap, Oswin Wilson, but I do believe it's an out lap here. He's getting his car ready to attack the next lap. He's not that far away from the Mercedes of Jaden Harrison. Just one Sorry, that's 1/10 of a second away from Jaden Harrison, 1.5 tenths or so away. So he now begins a fast one. Let's ride on board with the Guyanese now. See the Guyanese Osmond Wilson in set there on your screen. Something new we're trying out here with the guys in the Discord server. They're sharing, well, at least one person is sharing their screen now. Not quite sure who else has got it set up like this, but as long as we can manage to have it on here as we have it going here, we can advise the rest of the guys if they want to make it work. It's not improving here, you can see he's trying his best, but he's about around his best possible at the moment. But it's going to be close in the race though. Look at him hang on that onto that corner there. As he comes across the line, it's an improvement, and it's going to put him on pole position, is it? Oh no, he missed that out. He misses out there. He's just about 1/100th of a second away from pole position. He's going again. He's just got about 20 seconds to go here, and he's already improving through turn 1. Look at the concentration on this guy. You can see him having to muscle that car almost virtually even though he's still up. He's seen about 2/10
Yeah, then
here.
almost beat the time.
Right, but a lot of people are qualifying. He's up by 2.5 tenths now, Oswald Wilson. Can he take this pole position away? Can he hold on to second position? Yes, he is. It's just him, Parry, Barrett, and Michael on track at the moment. And he's seeing 3/10s here now. Oswin Wilson. Oh, he's made a mistake there. He's going to shave off about a 10th or so. But it seems as though he's got it here, Oswin Wilson. Can he hold on to the final turn there? Yes, it's going to be pole position for the Guyanese, an advantage now at Kylami. What a run there. Jaden Harrison's going to have to settle for that second position on the front row. Kimani Eastman leads the second row ahead of the next Guyanese, Daniel Williams. It seems as though it's a Guyanese versus Jamaican here. Front two rows. Matthew Titus leads the third row here, followed by Ricardo Swaby in 6th position. Another Jamaican. Michael Charles, the Trinidadian, has gotten up into 7th. Javon Parry in 8th. Kyle Barrett in 9th. Javon Parry and Barrett also from Jamaica. Adonic Stapleton out of St. Kitts and Nevis. And Christopher Schmeichel here in the Bentley in 11th position. Next, we go racing for an hour.
Is it mandatory on tires?
Yes, sir. Oh, it's a mistake there from Schmeichel. He's not on a time lap. I don't believe he was. He goes back into pit lane though. All right, next up we go racing. Don't forget to hit that like button if you're new here. Subscribe to the channel as well. And if you're sure to have some friends that follow along with sim racing, go ahead and share the video as well. Thanks a lot for joining us this evening. We're getting ready here to go racing for an hour at Kylami. Why don't you join us? Here we go then. It's going to be one lap around here, Kylami, before we go racing. It's going to be a rolling start. This here is your pole sitter, Oswin Wilson, followed by Jaden Harrison. And we've got Kamani Eastman on the inside, followed by Daniel Williams. And then Matthew Titus, followed by Ricardo Swaby. And we've got Michael Charles there in the yellow yellow Ford Mustang. And then we've got Javon Parry, followed by Kyle Barrett, and Adonik Stapleton, and Christopher Smykel. Beautiful South Africa, ladies and gentlemen, as you'll hear those engines fire up any moment now. And our drone is in position. Here we go. Engines are live, ladies and gentlemen. As they're going to make their one lap around here, Kylami, for their rolling start. I just want to share with you what that looks like from the inside. There you can see at the center of Oswald's screen, it shows you how you need to be here with the placement of the car. And of course it gives you instructions. So it's currently telling him to stay in a single file. He's sort of dropped back from his original position here. I believe he's got a car ahead of him. Oh no, he is the first car here. As you can see, Jaden Harrison there in second position. Kimani Eastman in the McLaren. What a nice field we have here with the Porsche, Mercedes, McLaren, and Ford down there at the back. We've been seeing a lot of guys running for the McLaren. It might be, as they say, meta at the moment. And meta is a phrase, or rather word, used to signify the best of the best for the time being. And that time being is, of course, until there's an update to the game and whatnot. It's a tricky car to handle though, the McLaren, with that elongated body, almost looking like the fast tail of back in the day. It seems as though everywhere you look around, they're heading back to the 70s and 80s and 90s of car designs. And that McLaren sure is a reminiscent one in terms of its body structure. Beautiful car though nonetheless. As now you can see the instructions are being updated here now on Oswin's screen. And so he's got to keep left and also begin to fall back into that green area. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to switch away now from here. I just wanted you guys to see that. And we go to the helicopter cam now for this race start. Shaping up to be an exciting one here, ladies and gentlemen. We can see Machine Wallace in the chat, angry that he's missing this one. Sorry about that, Machine Wallace. He informed me earlier that he's going to be missing this one due to some technical difficulties. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to try and get a really good shot with them coming down the front straightaway here. Any moment now they're going to see the green light. And it's not usually when they cross the line. There we go. Green light, and they're off. Seems like Jaden Harrison has got a great start now against Oswin Wilson. It's going to be one lap of them having these cars invisible for the time being. Oh, and it seems as though Oswin Wilson has got to fight this car now. And he's lost that position to Jaden Harrison. Jaden edging him out. Michael Charles tussling back here now with Kylami Eastman. Kylami ahead for the time being, but Matthew Titus has got a great jump on the duo of Matthew Titus and Michael Charles. Michael now on the inside. He's touched that car once again, but of course they're invisible for this one lap go around. So everyone can get on with the business now, but Kylami Eastman holds on to this position for the time being. Oswin Wilson now coming under pressure here. From the McLaren of Matthew Titus, Matthew takes that car onto the grass. Oswin Wilson trying to run wide to stay away from him. He's lost a lot of time now to Jaden Harrison. Change of position. Charles has got his man now. He's ahead of Kylami Eastman, and Eastman now coming under pressure from Carlos Swaby. Swaby coming under pressure from Daniel Williams. Swaby goes ahead of Eastman here. Eastman is struggling. Eastman goes back ahead. Eastman goes off track, and so does Swaby. Williams now goes ahead. Does he? Almost, we can see Ricardo struggling there to hold on as they come down the front straightaway once more. It's going to be into turn one. We switch back. Michael Charles now closing in against Matthew Titus. He's got that position actually into turn one as Matthew ran that wide. A lot of fighting down in the back as well. Look at this. Kyle Barrett running wide, goes on the grass. He's got control of it. I thought he was out of that one. He does lose a lot of positions there to Michael Parry. He was battling with. Now Michael trying to turn on the pressure here against Devon Parry. That Bentley should be a lot faster here at Kylami. Look at him holding on to the rear end of that Porsche. Michael Charles closing the gap now to Oswin Wilson, but he's lost just a little bit of time there. Three-way fight ahead of these guys now. Look at them all spreading out, and Jaden Harrison has gotten on with his business. 1.2 seconds now, a bumper to Oswin Wilson. Looking back, Stapleton has outbraked himself against Ricardo Swaby. He's got to watch how he comes back on track. He manages to do so safely, but now Javon Parry has got an opportunity here to attack the McLaren. Eastman now against Titus. He's in the slipstream here, down the front straightaway once more. Can he make a move into turn number 1? He's having a look. And he's thinking better of himself, not to go late on the brakes. Look back. Stapleton under pressure from Parry now. Parry on the outside. He switches back. I think they come together there. But all's well as they stay on the track. Oh, he's touched him once more. And now Parry's going to have to give that position back a slight step. Stapleton sees 11th position. He's actually not going to give that position back Parry. As we look ahead now, Charles turning on the heat against Oswin Wilson. And it seems as though Jaden Harrison, with a mistake, runs that pretty wide, goes deep and into the grass. On the inside now is Michael Charles, right on board on the Mustang. As we're closing off the first 5 minutes of this race. A little bit of sliding there from the Porsche. He's got to get that optimal temperature into those tires there. Oswin Wilson, if he wants to stave off this fight now from Michael Charles. The 3-0 pulling away now from the rest of the pack. On the inside, does he make that pass stick now? Yes, he does. Michael Charles, as Oswin Wilson continues to struggle here now. How fast is Michael in that Mustang? Looks as though he's already opening the gap here and going for Jaden Harrison. Let's take a look back. Daniel Williams is right there against Kylami Eastman in the other Mustang. Oh, he goes on the grass, dear Daniel Williams. Oswin Wilson coming back to Michael Charles, and a touch now. Michael still able to hold on to that lead against Oswin Wilson. But now look at it, 4 seconds will separate Michael Charles and Oswin Wilson from Jaden Harrison. Oh, and he goes heavily on the curb there, Oswin Wilson. He's gone off track, and now he's going to have some positions to lose here. He loses 2. And if Ricardo Swaby can think anything better of it, he's going to have a go here and make Oswin lose 3. So the entire race there is now in shambles for Oswin Wilson. Michael Charles can now breathe easy in that second position. Daniel Williams, though, gets promoted into 3rd. It's all to play for here, ladies and gentlemen. As Jaden Harrison has gone off track, he's got damage to the front of that car. He's now in 2nd position, and Michael Charles leads this race. How bad is this damage here now for the Jamaican? Does he have to pit? Does he have to fix this car? You can see him struggling to keep it on the black stuff. That's that then, but the trio behind him sticking very closely. The 4 of them are sticking very closely by. And it's about 3.1 seconds between Daniel Williams and Jaden Harrison. We're going to keep an eye on that because we want to know if Jaden has damage. We can see him there coming out of shot there. Swaby, Oswin Wilson though against Kylami Eastman now. Oswin trying to fight back to get ahead into the podium spots. Eastman is closing that gap to Daniel Williams. Daniel Williams is closing that gap very, very quickly as Jaden Harrison is back down on this one. Too much damage on that Mercedes. And he's going to lose now in his title fight. If we can get that information up for you, it's Oswin Wilson now pressuring Eastman for the lead, for the final podium position here. Jaden Harrison retiring from that race. Might have all but himself to blame for going off track and having an incident. Oswin Wilson pressuring Kylami Eastman now, and he's dragging along Ricardo Swaby with him. Let's take a look at this fight from Ricardo's perspective. Oswin on the inside, heavy on the brake, can he make it stick? The Guyanese have done it. He's ahead now, Kylami Eastman. What a move that was. Now Oswin Wilson up into third position, and this is the closest fight we've got for you at the moment. Eastman wants back that podium spot. Charles says keep pumping out them fast laps. It's 142.475 now from the Trinidadian in that Mustang. The Mustangs are reigning supreme here at Kylami. Into turn one they go once more. Can Eastman retake that position from Oswin Wilson? Can Swaby stay and capitalize on a third as well? Runs it wide here, but also Kylami Eastman overshot that, and he's got a little bit of oversteering to take care of. Now he's fallen back into the grasp of Ricardo Swaby. Oh, he's having a lot of trouble there, Kylami Eastman. He's now way out of touch of Oswin Wilson, and this guy, Ricardo Swaby, is now looking at the opportunity to get by. They're all spreading out now. Michael Charles has opened up that gap to Daniel Williams. It's now 5.3 seconds. Daniel Williams is holding his own there against Oswin Wilson. It's about 3 seconds. Oswin Wilson has placed a buffer between him and Kylami Eastman. It's about 2 seconds. And now Ricardo Swaby is pressuring Eastman here for that fourth position. This is the fight we're looking at. So 143.905 from Kylami Eastman versus a 144.005 from Ricardo Swaby. Still being able to hold on, but looking at the mistakes now that Kylami Eastman is making. Ricardo Swaby getting a little bit scared there. Didn't know what would have happened with that McLaren. So now he's backed off, and Kylami can breathe easy. But Javon Parry, almost collides there with Christopher Schmeichel now. This is for 7th position, as Schmeichel cannot hold on to that position any longer. Parry gets by. Can Schmeichel find composure here now and retake that position? This is for 7th. Jovian Desert, thanks a lot there for the subscription. Don't forget to hit that like button as well. Ricardo Swaby back in contention here against Eastman. Sticking around that 1 second mark. And now Oswin Wilson is managing to close the gap to his countryman Daniel Williams there. He's under 3 seconds. Daniel Williams, however, has nothing he can do there to Michael Charles. Michael already with a 6.5 second lead. Excuse me, and is going faster. His last fastest lap was 1:41.857. Michael now wants back that position, but he's having a lot of steer issues there to worry about as you see him correct that one. Oh, dips it on the grass there, Parry. That's going to mess up his entry. Yes, it does. Michael now wants something to do with that. Oh, but he's lost it there, Michael. I think he might have overshot those tires now. This is the closest fight we've got for you at the moment. Ricardo Swaby losing touches there with Eastman. And Oswin Wilson has also lost some time to Daniel Williams now. Oh, you can see Michael having to fight this car. I do believe those tires are overburdened now. Yes, he goes off track. Something you must learn to do here is know your car, get familiar with what you're capable of, and those tires. We can see him fighting this Bentley around Kylami here. Javon Parry gets to run away with this. Well, Kenny can't even get back on the hallway here, Christopher Schmeichel. And Stapleton is looking at that, and he's clasping his hands and rubbing it up like Birdman. Oh, Swaby getting back into contention now with Kylami Eastman. Swaby doing a personal best there on the last lap. 1:43.230 as against 1:43.575 against Eastman. Patience is key. Sometimes you gotta let that car coast around the corner before you get back on the power. And that's what you hear here from these GT3 monsters. Pit lane is open. Oh, we don't have anyone just yet crawling into pit lane for their mandatory pit stop for tire change. Closer now is Ricardo Swaby. Let's ride on board with the Jamaican. Look at how Eastman is struggling now. That McLaren is sliding off the water end. What a peculiar turn and uphill turn that is. It's blind actually as you go up the hill. Hard to judge where you actually place the car and turn in. Here going all the way down there, Ricardo Swaby, and then having to capture back a heavier gear just to get back on the power here. Closer now into the penultimate turn. Ricardo Swaby pressuring Kylami Eastman for this 4th position. No one in pit lane yet. Stapleton has finally caught up to Christopher Schmeichel and definitely wants to capture that 8th position away now from the Jamaican. Let's take a look back into turn number 1. Can Swaby manage to take this position? He's pressuring, he's coming, he's going. It's almost a bob and weave here between Eastman and Swaby. Oh, goes off track there, Ricardo Swaby. That's not what you want to do here, because you lose precious time. He goes even further off track here. And of course, as you pick up the grass, you don't want that, because it's going to mess up that tire for the time being. You're going to have to get that tire all cleaned up before you actually get back on it, and it's funny enough that you have to get back on it through that right-hander. Let's take a look at your leader right now. His fastest lap so far is a 1:41.810. And he's got this Mustang talking here in South Africa. Funny enough, he's not in red colors. His favorite color here is yellow. It's not the first time we've seen him dress a car in yellow. He's having a really good time out here in front. 8.5 second lead against this guy, the second guy in a Mustang, Guyanese, Daniel Williams. Oswin Wilson has been able to catch up now to Daniel Williams in this Porsche. Just about 2.5 seconds away. Stapleton really close now to Schmeichel. Schmeichel makes a mistake, and on the outside, Stapleton gets that job done. Oh, but he's also under pressure too with the rear end sliding out just a bit. He gets back on the power now. And so far for the time being, it looks like job done now for Adonik Stapleton. Racing out of St. Kitts and Nevis, we were having a chat with him in his first outing with us. He said he might be the only person within the entire country, on the entire island, that does sim racing. So he's representing an entire country all on his own here at CSRO. And we've got Oswin Wilson being shown yellow flags. He's lost it, and he's all the way back now into 5th position. I don't see any damage on that car. It might just be that he ran off track. Let's take a look at the front end here as he comes towards us. I can't tell with the car being white at the front here. But he's definitely fall back here now. Kimani Eastman gets up into that 3rd position. Ricardo Swaby does get his 4th position, but now he's on the top. He's on for a podium position, Ricardo Swaby, if he can get that McLaren onto him. Schmeichel back towards Adonik Stapleton now. He's got a little bit of rejuvenation going on here in the Bentley. Oh, and that's it. He's sliding that car. Oh my goodness. It's well known here that that car does not take well to aerodynamics. As a matter of fact, we call it the boat. It's very hard to control around any track you take it to. I'm not quite sure how they did it, when they did it. Oh, he's having a look on the inside. Schmeichel's not that close enough. Oh, he's also got some internet issues there. No one yet has dived into it. Seems like everyone here has decided to run a long strategy for the first stint, or they're just probably cutting it in half. We'll see at the 30-minute mark what happens. Ricardo Swaby. Seeing someone really close here on the map, but it's not being picked up here. Oh, he's missed a gear there, Ricardo Swaby. And now Oswin Wilson is definitely going to be at an advantage here coming down the front straightaway. Second time he's got work to do here, Oswin Wilson. But after coming off his race win last weekend, he's definitely confident here in gaining some more points. So we're currently waiting on the first set of pit stops here. And it doesn't seem as though Ricardo can get back against Eastman. But what is happening now is that Oswald Wilson is capturing Ricardo Swaby now on track. We've got 1 minute, just about 1 minute to the 50% mark here in this race. And we were about to see, oh, sorry, that was the 35-minute mark. So we've got about 5 minutes to go, just over 5 minutes to go, as Ricardo Swaby is the first one to dive into pit lane now. We're going to keep a look and see how long he takes in pit lane. We got both their time spent in the entire pit lane as well as for their stop. So that puts Oswald Wilson in 5th position currently. Kylami Eastman, though, however, ahead of Oswald Wilson, has got a 10-second buffer to Daniel Williams. Daniel Williams driving the tires off of this Mustang, and what you don't want to do is go back into pit lane with threads left on this car, and it seems as though that's what he's trying to do, but he's going to lose even more time now to Michael Charles. 15 seconds separates Daniel Williams and Trinidadian Michael Charles here. The two Mustangs, the only two Mustangs out here. Parry now getting very racy behind Kyle Barrett. We haven't heard about these two in a while, but it seems as though Kyle might have made a mistake here now, as those tires are falling off, and now Javon Parry has got something to say about it. Into the pits goes Daniel Williams. He's going to try now. He's definitely finished those tires. So for Ricardo Swaby, it's a 1 minute and 1 second pit lane travel time with a total stop time of 36 seconds. Now Daniel Williams is in pit lane. Let's try and get that as Javon Parry makes that move against Kyle Barrett. He's up now into 5th position, but he goes on the curb and he's going to lose that one in a very dramatic style there. He might as well take it into pit lane, as Kyle Barrett has done same. Yes, he does take it into pit lane now. And it seems as though he's also raised the last set of treads on this tire here. Where's Michael Charles? He's now making his way into sector number 3 here, Michael Charles. Daniel Williams still in pit lane. He just left pit lane. It was in 1 minute and 5 seconds. He did a 40-second stop. He's not racing against Ricardo Swaby, but with Swaby actually going faster there, you'd like to think, as Michael Charles, our race leader, dives into pit lane now, you'd like to think that that's a pretty bad stop there from Daniel Williams, and it is. He's lost about 4 seconds now to Swaby. Out of pit lane is Javon Parry in 59 seconds. Their total pit time, his total stop time was 34 seconds, so we're aiming for that as Kyle Barrett now leaves, and so it was a longer stop there for Barrett. Kylami Eastman goes into the lead of this race, and he is still to pit. He's going to try and open here for the overcut against Michael Charles, but I highly doubt it's going to work here for Kylami Eastman. Michael has had that huge advantage there against them, 15 seconds. Which is basically half the lap time. Here comes your race leader, Michael Charles, out of pit lane now. Listen to that Mustang roar as it comes down the front straightaway. Careful not to cross the white line. You will get a penalty for that. Oswin Wilson is in pit lane now too. Let's take a look at the time there for Michael Charles. It was a 59-second total pit time, 35-second stop. So far, Javon Parry with a 34-second stop is the fastest. Oswin Wilson, the only one in pit lane at the moment. Kylami Eastman in the lead of this race. And still to pit. He's, of course, not going to be able to hold on to the lead of this race. The leader of this race still is Michael Charles. Eastman's fight is, though, against Daniel Williams. With Daniel Williams having a longer pit stop. He's got an opportunity here. Kylami Eastman. Here he goes into pit lane now. Where is Daniel Williams? He's down the back of the circuit in sector 2 still. The stop from Oswin Wilson was 1 minute and 23 seconds. That's a 57-second stop. That's really long here. As a matter of fact, that is the longest stop. So we know for sure that he had to fix damage on that Porsche, Oswin Wilson. Eastman still in pit lane, still on his stop. Daniel Williams in sector 3 has about 2 more turns before he fights Eastman for this position. Eastman gets going now, so Daniel Williams will be able to regain this position now against Eastman. Eastman at the exit of pit lane, but has to get back on the power. He's not on the power just yet, but who already is Daniel Williams, but he's managed to get that close to the Guyanese now. Michael is in second position in the pit for the time being. He still is to pit though, the only person left here to take his car into pit lane. We are over the 50% mark now of this race. Stapleton back in the pit lane here, or this is actually his first stop. Does get going now again. Stapleton, not a bad stop there from the St. Kitts and Nevis guy. He's back out in 8th position as Kyle Barrett now comes around the final turn there. Stapleton is already back out ahead. Into turn 1 he goes. My goodness, what a race this has turned out to be. Oswin Wilson though with a really short end there, with damage to his car. He's now coming under pressure from Devon and Parry. Porsche versus Porsche, but who's got the wits? Who's got the pace? I would like to say that will be Oswin Wilson, but with the entire ordeal that he's been through so far in this race. Not quite sure if he can get back into a position here to claim some valuable points. Kyle Barrett now relegated to 9th position and having some issues here. Barrett, he is fighting against Michael, and Michael still hasn't pitted just yet. As a matter of fact, Daniel Williams is coming now. This is a race 4 position. It changed in pit lane. Oh, he slides that car out from under him there. Daniel Williams, he doesn't want to do that. You can see Kylami Eastman lurking in the background. He doesn't want to lose time now to this Christopher Schmeichel in this 2nd position. He's trying to get on with his business. He has a look on the inside. Into the braking zone he goes. Can he get that car to slow down in time? Yes, he does. He makes that apex and takes that position back there from Christopher Schmeichel. Doesn't seem as though Michael goes into pit lane just yet. He still has 11 minutes to go here. Christopher Michael before he takes that pit stop. Meanwhile, Kimani Eastman is closing the gap to him. This one has mellowed out here at Kylami after the pit stops. Currently, Michael Charles is enjoying a 30-second, almost a 30-second, yes, it's about 30 seconds to Daniel Williams. Michael with a mistake now, and Kimani gets by. Barrett Simming closing the gap now to Adonic Stapleton. Michael finally dips into pit lane now, and he's definitely going to be displaced here from that 7th position. Adonic Stapleton and Cal Barrett goes ahead, but he's already back on track here. It's a 1 minute 6 second stop there from Christopher Michael. 36 second stop in the pit box, and it seems as though he's been given a stop-go penalty of 30 seconds. I don't believe he's been able to get that car in pit lane. He probably was speeding at the head of pit lane, as a matter of fact. And he's now stopped stationary. He's stationary here on the exit. He does get going again, though. Unfortunate circumstance here. This is your race leader, ladies and gentlemen. He's currently enjoying 31.5 seconds. He's got nothing to worry about here. It's a Sunday drive for him. 868 on the card because he represents Trinidad and Tobago, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Charles in this sprightly yellow colored Mustang GT3 car. So the guy behind him is Daniel Williams in the other Mustang, so 32.5 seconds away. Eastman's not that far away. You can smell the fumes coming out of that Mustang. You can see him there at the top of the screen. But it seems as though these Mustangs are finally cooperating here. giving the racers what they want. Let's take a ride on board with Daniel Williams here at Kylami. Sorry about that, I didn't know we would take a look at that, but look at what's forming here. Kyle Barrett now against Adonis Stapleton. Stapleton coming on the pressure there from the Jamaican now. Five minutes left here before the pit lane is closed for your mandatory pit stop. And Barrett is closing in. The Mercedes is inching ever closer to the back of that McLaren as they go into the braking zone here. Look at how good he is on the brakes there, Kyle Barrett. Oh, misses the apex there. Adonis Stapleton, and he's got a Mercedes on the inside, or rather outside, to worry about, who switches over now into the inside. Nothing given there for Kyle Barrett. He's losing the rear end just a bit there on that Mercedes, and he's going to lose some time now as Ricardo Swaby actually getting on here now behind Kylami Eastman. Eastman with a problem that has pushed him back now into the grass of Ricardo Swaby. Two races we got going on our hands now. Just when we thought it was all simmering down, it's a full-on boil, ladies and gentlemen. Into turn one they go once more. Very, very early apex steer from Kylami Eastman. It does hurt him on the exit. Ricardo Swaby gets back on the pole, and he stays within 3/10 to the to the Jamaican. He's gonna make a mistake there now. Ricardo Swaby goes on the gravel, loses all the time that he had now gifted to him. By whatever reason, Eastman made that mistake. Looking back at this fight though, Adonis Stapleton, he's got to worry about blue flags as well. Michael Charles is behind him. Oh, and he's got to back out of the fight to let Mikkel by. Adonis does the same. Yes, he does. So now it doesn't hurt Kyle Barrett that much. He can get on with it. Both of them clipping the apex this time around. Oh, he's lost the front there. He's lost the rear rather. But it didn't hurt him that much. He lost about 2/10 or so. As they go up the hill once more into the blind braking zone, I call it. By the time you get up there, it's very hard to see the apex of that turn. You gotta force your brain into thinking, hey, this is where you need to be, and not there. Kyle getting really racy now behind Adonis, and Adonis seems like he's got a mind of steel to not give in, but he's lost a little bit more time there now to the Jamaican. Let's ride on board with Kyle Barrett as they go around the penultimate turn once more. The Mercedes is going to try and move here on the McLaren into turn one. Does he? Has a look on the inside already. Into defense mode was Nick Stapleton, and he's outbraked himself now, Kyle Barrett. That surely cannot be a pass. Oh, and it's gonna be karma now for Kyle Barrett, but Stapleton cannot take advantage of that issue there from Kyle. We've long done away with issuing reprimands during the race, and it seems as though Stapleton does get back in tune here behind the Mercedes, as we've also got Ricardo Swaby to get in tune behind the McLaren of Kimani Eastman. Back in this one though, Stapleton, oh no, he's made a mistake again, overshot the turn here. And that's it. Pit lane is closed, but we've had no issue as Barrett really runs deep into that turn now. I don't know, I think Adonik is scared to lean on these tires. As you can see, the bends not hooking up the rear end there around the penultimate turn. So this fight is on now. Oswin Wilson able to close the gap to Ricardo Swaby. Oswin Wilson looking at a podium finish again. Michael Charles with a 50-second lead against Daniel Williams. But this is the closest fight we've got for you at the moment. It seems as though Adonik is losing base here now to Kyle Barrett. Kyle Barrett figuring out how to have that Mercedes under his command here now. Look at that turn, this is what I'm telling you about here with the blind left-hander apex there. Just as we thought that Kyle Barrett had that car under him, Adonik Stapleton is finding the pace to get back into the fight now with Barrett. 1.5 seconds separates Oswin Wilson from Ricardo Swaby. That's a fight I'm also interested in. But for the time being, 0.7 seconds here separates this McLaren from that Mercedes, who is definitely having a lot of issues here. And Adonik is not racing his own race. He's busy looking at Kyle Barrett, and unfortunately, that has cost him. Look at the distance now between them. And he's going to be kicking himself there, Adonik Stapleton. Look at him. He's taking too much curve. Those tires are shot. He just let a lot of heat get into them by sliding that car almost out of the race. And now Oswin Wilson has seen a second to Ricardo Swaby. That's a mistake now from Swaby, and it's well under a second now for Oswin Wilson, as we are under 12 minutes remaining in this race. Right now with Oswin Wilson. And it's a huge mistake there from Ricardo Swaby, is it? Yes, it is. And Oswin Wilson keeps the pressure on the Jamaican now. This is for the final podium position here. Ricardo saying, nope, not there. find somewhere else to get by. He's not giving up on this position that easy here. Ricardo Swaby, and why should he? Gonna make Oswin work for it, and you can see there with our live cam feed, Oswin Wilson is working for it. Gets back on the power, and he seems so stable here, Oswin Wilson, as against the McLaren. We've got a yellow flag on track, and I think it might be Daniel Williams ahead. Oh, and Ricardo Swaby messing that one up entirely. He's got to watch how he comes back on track here. Oswin Wilson wants it into this turn. He's going to get it. Yes, he is. He gets by, and he goes up into that third position. Final position there for the podium spot. And Ricardo Swaby, with all kinds of issues there behind him, has not a response for the Guyanese. Oswin gets by. I am not seeing who is causing the yellow flag here. Seems like everyone is in racing order. Ooh, look at this, what we have going on here. Javon Parry and Kylami Eastman. As Michael Charles resets the fastest lap of the race, it's now a 1:41.582 there from the Trinidadian. But I'm looking here at Javon Parry and Kylami Eastman, arch nemesis here at CSRO. He's out here by a long shot though, Javon Parry, by some 5 seconds or so. Were to look at the closest fight here, though, it would be Ricardo Swaby versus Oswin Wilson. Oh, it seems as though we've lost Christopher Schmeichel there now in this one. He's given up on that race. He's retired the car. Goes back into pit lane. Let's ride on board now with Javon Parry. We saw what happened to Oswin Wilson when he did that, but I think he's getting very excited that he can smell the fumes coming off that McLaren. Okay, so previous lap there, Kylami Eastman did go off track, so 146.10 on his previous lap there for Kylami Eastman. Javon Parry kept it together, of course, on this lap, so 143.867 there from the Jamaican. Under 3 seconds now, Javon Parry to Kylami Eastman. And I say with about 7.5 minutes remaining, we have a fight on our hands. As he tips and tips and tips at that accelerator like he set up. Want to stay wide here, Javon Parry, and he does to open up the exit on this turn, because this chicane here, going uphill, you want all the power that you can have. Stays right. It's a late apex here from Javon Parry, but he wants to capture the exit of this turn. He's under 2 seconds to Kylami Eastman now. Either Kylami Eastman is struggling, or he's invited Javon Parry to fight with him. Either way, we're sitting here with our popcorns ready for it. On this lap, it's a 1:45, 1:75 there for Kylami Eastman. 144, 0-1-2 from Javon Parry. So Eastman is struggling, but he's got 6 minutes and 10 seconds to put this advantage to rest now. Javon Parry, 2 seconds still separates him. Can he catch him? He's made a mistake there, Kylami Eastman. And now he comes into full shot of the camera. Doesn't want to lose that rear end. Javon Parry doing everything he possibly can to keep this car on track right there. Much better apex there from him. I can just imagine what Kylami is going through here. Always missing this apex though, Parry. And he's got to tidy up himself if he wants this position from Kylami Eastman. You can hear him having to feather that throttle there. Trying to get back on the power as fast as possible. Kylami Eastman trying to bring the tone now by going out into the center of the track right there. Open up this apex as well. Into turn number 1. And after almost 1 hour of racing, ladies and gentlemen, we are in crunch time. Anything under 5 minutes, and we go racing here for the final set of time here at Kylami. Everyone else is more than 2 seconds away. This is the closest fight we've got for Kenya. Can Javon Parry make the most of it? He runs wide there, following Kylami Eastman. And Kylami Eastman, though, doing well to hold on. You don't want to go that high on the curve there in the Porsche. It bounces around a lot, unsettles the car. You don't want that there from Javon Parry. Look at him sliding. Oh, and he captures it quite well there as they go back up the hill. He's under a second now to Kylami Eastman. Oh, he gets on the power, and you can see the torque just shredding the tires, bringing the car around there as he made that left-hander. He's going to lose some time now to Eastman, but he needs to capture the apex of this turn, does he? Yes, he does. He's getting better at it. Ladies and gentlemen, as they approach the penultimate turn, 3 minutes left here on the clock. Javon Parry against Kylami Eastman. Rivals here at CSRO, maybe the heaviest set of rivals that we've ever seen. Into turn 1 they go once more. He hits the apex there quite nicely. Javon Parry, he turns up the heat against Kylami Eastman now. He takes a little bit too much on that one. Does it affect his drive? No, it does not. Tries to keep the car straight to get the apex. Sorry, to get the traction under the Porsche. Not running wide lines here as against the McLaren in front of him. But that's to open up the apex of this turn, which he does. And he's able now to bring that car within half a second. He holds it. He does quite well. And while the McLaren goes across the curb, he misses it. Up into the blind left-hander once more. On the brake hit, Kylami Eastman. Almost standing still there on the apex. Javon Parry having to apply heavy brakes and avoidance before hitting him. But now we've got a fight on our hands with just about 2 laps remaining. Back on board now with Javon Parry. He's within 2/10 of this position now that Kylami Eastman holds on. Kylami already defending here on the inside. He's not going to have a really good exit. Parry now into the slipstream. Can he get it done upon Parry? Kylami Eastman already goes back into the center line now, and he's going to want to stay there and not come back over to the right hand. He does not. Javon Parry tries an up and under. He tries to stay on. Oh, they collide. Goes off track, Kylami Eastman. And now Javon Parry feels really bad about it. He's going to let him come by and take that position. But that's it. I think that's the fight over there between the two of them. It was just a smidgen of touches and the tightest of position there to pass, placement to pass, or space rather to pass. They do get back into this one actually. And while Mikel Charles will have a 1 minute and 6 second win over Daniel Williams, they go side by side now. And goes ahead, it does Javon Parry, but Eastman would have overheated those tires on that spin. And so Eastman would still be at a disadvantage here. Kylami Eastman didn't quite stand on the apex as we would expect him to do, but instead he just left the smallest of spaces, smallest of gaps there for Javon Parry. And now that's it, race over, ladies and gentlemen, with an astounding set of pace here today. Trinidadian Mikel Charles, ladies and gentlemen, will cross the line in this Ford Mustang to win here at Kylami for the 4th round of our Caribbean GT3 Championship. Daniel Williams so far away here is going to come across in 2nd position. But what an amazing run here from Mikel Charles. He took charge early on from the set, from the get-go. And with a lot of incidents ahead of him, he managed to keep his cool and win this race, ladies and gentlemen. Mikel Charles, what a stunning performance here from the youngster today. Wasn't too long ago this guy was getting onto the podium with a mouse and keyboard. I now heard that he's elevated himself onto a wheel and pedal set. And ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Daniel Williams across the line in 2nd, Oswin Wilson across the line in 3rd, Ricardo Swaby in 4th, Javon Parry in 5th position, Kylami Eastman in that 6th. Kyle Barrett is going to come 7th. Unfortunately, Christopher Schmeichel will be disqualified from this one. We've lost Matthew Titus and Jaden Harrison as well. And Adonik Stapleton will come in 8th position. What an event, though, this has been, ladies and gentlemen. This guy right here, as we await the others to get back into pit lane, we can conduct the post-race interviews. Unfortunately, we've lost the connection to the server, but first person up here in the interview is none other than Oswin Wilson.
Yo.
All right, man. It seems as though we didn't actually catch what happened to you there in that race, but it did. Is it that you went off track? What happened?
Yeah, I was kind of pushing a bit too much and overheated the tires and just lost control of the car. And then I kept pushing and lost control again and got damaged. So that showed the whole race off of me. I wasn't really consistent in this race, but the final stint, I made a few adjustments in pit stops and I was cooking, but there was too many mistakes in the first stint.
Most definitely. We did see that too coming on board with you a lot there in that race, but still a performance there. None like any other there from Oswin Wilson. Thanks a lot there, Oswin Wilson. Daniel Williams, it's been a while since you've been on the podium here at CSRO. Congratulations to you. Do you have a working mic though? I think you do.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go right ahead. Talk us through that one there, man. What a tough one that was.
Yeah, it was a tough race. Obviously, for the first stint, I wasn't really fast, but I was consistent. No accidents. But my tire pressures was all wrong, so I fixed that for the pit. In the second stint, I just struggled with concentration, but it was still a good race for me.
All right, good recovery to drive it. We know we didn't see you do so well there in the qualifying, but you managed to hold on to it and get up here on the podium step. Good work to you, Michael Charles, winning. I think this is your second race winning here at CSRO, and well done on doing it on some brand new wheels and pedals. Is that correct?
Uh, I've had it for like a few months. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're definitely acclaimed to it quite nicely here to take win. Uh, well, I think it's number 2 since you've joined CSRO. Well, well done to you, man. Talk us through that one. I think you actually ended up 1+ minute in front of Daniel Williams here.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, it was a fun race. I didn't really expect anything. I just kind of I saw the stream on YouTube. I was like, I bet I'll join.
Without any proper introduction. Well, congratulations to you there, Michael Charles. Glad to have you back here.
Yeah,
Great
it's fun.
racing. Yeah, great racing too from everyone else. Happy to see you guys out here today. Join us next weekend as we go racing for round number 5 in this 8th round championship. It's coming to an end, unfortunately, quite fast. But thanks a lot for joining us today. We hope to see you in the next one as I leave you guys to close off the stream. Thanks a lot for joining us today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to close off the stream with you guys now, I just want to say thanks a lot for coming out. Yeah, let's get to the end screen here. All right, so that is the end, man. Of what a wonderful race that was. I can see here. Okay, all right. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm just getting a little bit distracted. But thanks a lot for joining us this evening, ladies and gentlemen. That was Kylami out there in South Africa. We head now to Austria at the Red Bull Ring next weekend for round number 5 in our 2024 Caribbean GT3 Championship. We're very happy to see some guys come back here. And for instance, I know it's probably wouldn't have been a win there for Charles, Michael Charles there. I wanted to say Dominic Jaw for some reason. But you know, at the behest of us losing Jaden Harrison from this one, I mean, it was all up for grabs there. Oswin Wilson too, with some mistakes as well. You just heard him talk about, but eventually, it was done and dusted. But the pace there from the young Trinidadian to get up and away from the entire field, ladies and gentlemen, was something definitely to look at. And with a little bit of fight there at the end for Kimani Eastman and Javon Parry too. We definitely enjoyed that. All right. Well, next weekend we go racing at the Red Bull Ring there. Hope you join us for that one. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button and join us in the next one for next weekend. All right. Good luck. Have fun out there. See you in the next one.